them answering and us speaking. So
Okay.
just know that.
How long of a delay?
I don't know.
She said yes.
Okay, perfect. If at any moment you do not hear us, let us know. We're just gonna let everybody come on in. Hi, everybody.
Hello. What are all those things on the bottom?
They're liking you and they are sending you a thumbs up. And I'm just checking in my phone here so that I can see your beautiful questions. So that I can see the screen. Is everybody coming in? Do you guys take a look at our friend Jack so far? Here we are.
Thumbs up, I think she said.
Okay.
I wish my eyesight was better.
It's
Makes
okay.
me feel old.
A second. Okay, so Amy, are you the only one in there? Amy really wants to learn about cake structure.
Oh my gosh.
Just give everybody a minute or two. Yes, you do. So she's giving me, see, we're schooling her on Facebook Live here.
Okay, yeah, I've
So
never done this.
So she's giving some thumbs up.
Okay.
See the delay? That was like 3 seconds ago that I brushed my hair. Now we're seeing it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and we're getting more thumbs up from Amy. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Holly. Hi, you guys. Well, good evening and welcome to Caker's Chat. This is Denise Passarelli of
Denise Makes Cakes.
Denise Makes Cakes.
What else?
And you were on Food Network.
Cake Wars.
Cake Wars. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Why would you ever enter Cake Wars? What was the drive behind that?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure why I wanted to be on Cake Wars. I watched the first season and I really liked it. And I was actually watching the season finale of season 1. And I saw like a little Twitter thing pop up from the Food Network. And they were like, do you want to be on the next season of Cake Wars? And I said, sure. So I sent them an email. And to be honest with you, I never expected to hear back from them. And they sent me an email and they said, hey, make us a video. And I sent them a video. And long story short, one night they called me and they were like, hey, so you're going to come to LA and be on Cake Wars.
So it's a complete shot in the dark.
It was a complete shot in the dark. Honestly, I'd applied for other shows and I didn't make it. So I was just like, they don't want me. No big deal.
They didn't know what they had in that email. That's the problem.
I know. And they just called me and I was thrown into this crazy world.
Fantastic. I
Yes.
can't wait to hear more. Guys, just let us know, type in, if you can't hear us clearly, if you can't tell, so we're in a hardware store, you know, with the orange aprons, and and there's going to be music and announcements, so if you can just let us know, if you can't hear us, just let me know, and we will try to do our best to kind of speak up.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, how did you get into caking?
I always made cakes with my grandma for everyone's birthdays, and that's when I kind of started to get the real love for it. But
Like sisters, yours, like that?
my mom, my dad, you know, we would just make like the little Betty Crocker mix, and I just thought that that was just so much fun, and it was a treat when my mom would bring it home from the supermarket. So I always had like the baking bug since I was little, but when my nephews were born, my first nephew, it was his second birthday, and my mom bought, she gets those Women's World magazines,
Yes.
and they have all those different like themed cakes, and there was a fish tank, and she was like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if you made this fish tank for Richie? And
That's ambitious. For a person who's never made a real, like, right?
right,
Fish
and
tank, why
and
not?
it was 2 cakes like standing up on the side. It was pretty serious.
Wow.
And every year from that point on, I said, let me challenge myself, let me use fondant, let me make it tiered, and the ball just started rolling from there.
Oh.
And my oldest nephew is 13 now, so I've been making their cakes
Wow.
forever, and the youngest one is 10, so
So you're the favorite aunt.
I am the favorite aunt, and I
No
make them the
question.
most awesome cakes. They actually live in Florida, so I have to
Okay.
carry the cakes on the plane, so that's an
Oh,
added.
that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother-
show.
It is.
I want to learn more.
Like, extreme cake delivery.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll go on one,
it's tough. That would be fun. Where can we
right?
go?
With the TSA
Absolutely.
and Facebook Live.
I get worried about the TSA. Are they going to take the cake? What's going to happen?
Oh my God! Hi, Erica. Hi, Marilyn. Welcome.
Hi.
They can hear us loud and clear.
Perfect.
So
That's
you
amazing.
were on Cake Wars.
I was. Went to the Institute of Culinary Education.
So you went straight into baking once you get the baking bug?
No, I didn't. I actually graduated college with a degree in radiation therapy and a
Whoa.
minor in biology. Not
Random.
It is random. I never thought that I was going to be a pastry chef and a cake decorator. I worked at a hospital job for 8 years, and I went to culinary school at night.
Oh wow.
So I really loved it, and it was something I wanted to do. And about 2 years ago, I left my full-time hospital job to completely dedicate myself to Denise Cakes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a commitment.
it is a commitment. It was a lot of work.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So, do you think you having those majors and working in the hospital, does that relate to anything you do in caking?
It does, because baking is an exact art, and so is science. So everything, you know, that I did at the hospital was very exact, very precise, the numbers, and baking is exactly the same way. And when you do structure like this, for example, this is very exact as well.
It smells so good.
It's very exact and very specific. So there are a lot of things that do overlap, I think, between science and
Where
baking.
you're losing me? What are we losing? Are you losing the voice or the internet? We're cutting off a little bit? Okay. Hi, Danielle. So we'll try. We kind of got lost into this conversation. And
Yeah.
stuff. So we'll try to speak as clearly, but let us know if we're cutting in and out again.
Okay.
So before Cake Wars,
Yes.
so you were trained. Do they teach you this stuff in school?
No, they don't.
So how did you get into structure?
I kind of had to, I was thrown into the fire a little bit when I went to Cake Wars. I had never done anything like this before, so it was kind of trial by fire. I had to build this huge cake
Oh my goodness.
that was almost as tall as I am.
Oh my God, learning on the fly like that in front of everybody.
Yeah, I kind of just had to put it together, and fingers crossed that it worked.
Oh my goodness. So where do we start? Because I'm confused. I mean, I like my hardware. I have my tools,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have simple tools in my toolbox. What should every caker have at least in their toolbox?
I think every caker, I think the number one thing is a level.
Hi, Carmen. Hi, Susie.
Hi. Cake Wars it is. I think everyone should have a level, a screwdriver, a hammer so that you can hammer dowels in, a high heat glue gun. That's really
a good tip.
It's really important.
Precision tip.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
precision
because
tip.
glue gun on your finger is never a good time.
No.
So a high heat glue gun, level screwdriver, hammer, things like that are invaluable. I
How
think.
many people don't have that in their toolbox right now? You need to go over to Home Depot or
Depot,
Lowe's
or Lowe's or
your
your
local
local
hardware and
hardware
get
store.
those things at least. Those are your
Absolutely.
minimums.
Right.
Okay.
How do you know your cakes are level if you don't have a level?
I don't know. I just kind of go like, it looks pretty good. Let's go. Okay, so it's time to construct some type of monstrosity.
Okay.
Where do I begin? Do I sketch something out?
I think you have to sketch something out. I think that's the most important part of any kind of cake design, having an idea about what you're looking for. Certain designs like this, ones that use like threaded pipe, have to be very
What
exact.
does threaded mean?
It has these little screws
Go
on
a
the
little
bottom.
bit. These little thingies, these little
These
lines,
things?
these little grooves.
So that you can screw it into a flange or screw it onto something else. That's what threaded means.
Okay.
These
Hi,
sorts,
Allison. Welcome.
these sorts of tools, you can't cut these.
Okay.
So you have to make sure all of your measurements and everything are precise.
So when you're doing your sketches, you should kind of keep in mind
Scale and
the scale of your pipes.
the scale of the pipe, right?
Okay.
Because you do have to fit the design to the pipes a little bit.
Okay.
It's
So
not
that's-
like a dowel that you can just cut and
Right, so
work
we're
it.
not cutting, we're not adjusting. You're basically, you can have some type of sketch going on, and
Right.
then you adjust it according to the scale of either if you're using one pipe or two pipe. And what do we have here right now? What are we working with?
what do we have right here? This is a
Not on top of a cookie.
this is a piece of MDF board.
Okay.
That I have a piece of 1/2-inch foam core. This is a 10-inch piece of threaded pipe.
10-inch.
This is 10 inches. Let me just take this off.
She does that like a pro, right? Look at all those hearts.
Oh. This is a pre-cut round piece of wood that I actually got at a craft store.
You could say.
Michael's. I got it at Michael's. They have all sorts of different sizes in their wood section. They have like a clock making section.
Right.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a
but
thing.
you know, and it even has some holes in it for the clocks. So I put a flange on the bottom of this and a flange on the top. And the foam core is here to kind of hide the flange.
Well, not only that, because this wood is not food safe, correct?
Right. That's
okay.
like one of the most important things is food safety and what you put inside your cake. I'm covering the MDF here with a piece of foam core, which you could put your cake on. And I have the foam core up here. You don't want any of this like threaded pipe to come into contact with your cake or anything edible.
See, you have this all covered. What is that?
I have this wrapped in, it's medical tape. It's waterproof.
There goes your medical background.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
It's first aid, like medical tape, so that it's not going to, any of like the greases or any like little bits of metal are going to get into the food. I've seen people also use saran wrap, and if you use a couple layers of saran wrap, that would be okay too.
Okay, perfect. Now you didn't do it here.
I did it just to show the difference.
Okay, perfect. Now let's start from, you keep on talking about a flange. Can you show me what a flange is?
Sure.
What does it actually do?
A flange is right here. I have one in a bag. This is how they come. And where do I find this? All of these things are in the plumbing aisle.
Okay.
And you're gonna see they have a row of boxes, and it's hot pink labeled, and they're 1/2 inch.
Okay, 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch, yeah. And everything is color coded. They have 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, but everything that I use
wish we
here,
had a list of these things.
I can type up a list for you and send it to you later.
Would you do that?
So we can share it with
everybody.
everybody.
That's so awesome of you. Thank you.
So this is what a flange is, and it has 4 holes. I don't know if you can see. It has 4 holes.
Can you see?
Can you see?
I can go there and show you. Hi, Susie. Welcome.
How about PVC pipes? You can use PVC also. I never have. I was taught to use the threaded pipe, but I know the PVC is very similar, where it has the fittings and all sorts of like similar shapes, sort of.
I'm just scooting on this side where she has more stuff and I have more questions for her.
Okay.
So can we undo this so we can show?
Absolutely.
So,
and
our first step really is your board, right?
The first step is the board. We can take it apart and we can go.
Oh, you want to take apart this whole thing?
I can.
That's brilliant. What do you guys think? Should we take it apart?
We should.
Yes. Take it off. Yes, you can.
Okay. So
I
here
thought
we
she
go.
was going to say, can I get a hallelujah? But
That's so funny.
let's get a hallelujah.
So, in terms of the board, for anything that you're gonna build that's really tall or really heavy, foam core isn't gonna work, and neither is there a question?
No, Jacqueline was talking about a PVC, that you can use PVC because you can cut it.
You can cut it.
So that's more adjustable.
It is a little bit more adjustable, but again, like I said, this is how I learned, so, and this is what I used when we went to Cake Wars.
And she's asking, Renee is asking, do we cover the foam board with anything?
You don't have to, because I sometimes use just foam core as like a cake board. You
Yes,
can.
a lot of people use
A lot of
foam.
people use that, so that's fine.
Okay, so we're starting off with this board itself.
Yep, we're starting off with this board itself. It's MDF.
Oh,
It's
this is neat. I like that. Okay.
It's 3/4 of an inch thick.
See that?
Can you see that's 3/4 of an inch thick?
Okay.
I think it's better that it's thicker so that there's no bowing or bending, especially if you're building something that's super tall and super heavy.
The original piece?
The original piece?
Is this the original piece?
This is not the original piece. This was actually cut down, custom sized for
And who
me.
cut it for you?
Home Depot actually cuts it.
I didn't
because
know that.
I don't have a jigsaw. I don't have any kind of saw that's going to cut this wood.
Okay.
So you can just buy a big piece of it and they'll cut it for you.
And what do you do with the scraps?
The scraps you can use and make little feet, because I think that's the most important thing
Of course.
when you're trying to
Is that
make a
something
cake.
you learned from Cake Wars?
It
You
is.
get on the stand.
It
So you don't
is.
get your fingers crushed.
So you don't get your fingers crushed. It's
Okay.
super important because you don't want to like scoot it over to the
How
end.
heavy was that cake?
A couple hundred pounds. It
Cool.
was very
So
heavy.
she can lift me then. It's cool. So then we
Yeah.
have a flange, right? That's
Yep.
the next step,
So
right?
then we have a flange here.
So that's this round piece.
That's that round piece, and I used 4 3/4 inch screws.
The screws are right there.
3/4 inch screws to screw it in. You don't want the screws to be longer than the piece of wood,
Okay.
because you don't want them to cut them out the bottom.
Good
It's like
point.
a safety issue.
Good point. Okay. And then we put one of the pipes, right?
Yep, and then you put the pipe that's on your predetermined size.
What'd you put on this thing? You must work out. Okay.
Yep.
So you just basically screw it in.
Yep.
No glue, nothing, no adhesive of any type.
Nope. you don't need anything, and it's really not going to go in there, go anywhere.
Okay, hi Lexi. Hi Lauren, welcome. Cut the boards right. My Home Depot won't make cuts smaller than 12 inches due to the safety reasons. So that's interesting to know.
That is interesting. But I mean, I feel like if you're looking for something smaller than 12 inches, you can get it at a craft store pre-cut. This is an 18 that we're using here.
Okay.
And they did cut the extra piece for me down to these sizes, and that's less than 12, so.
Maybe you just have to smile a little bit more?
Maybe, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know, if you get someone in a bad
Trust
mood.
me, she just told me that they cut here, so this is the first time I'm hearing that.
The only thing they don't cut is round. Which
yeah,
is
that would be a little bit more difficult.
Which is a little bit of a bummer, but that's why I bought the pre-cut piece from Michael's.
That's the one, okay.
Okay.
Hi Danielle, 14 perfect for everything.
How do you figure out how big the board should be according to the height?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I would say that 2/3, that is a good principle to use, because you want to make sure that it's heavy enough and that it's not going to tip.
Lauren, you worked it? Well, maybe you should send your husband in next time.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe you just simply wasn't his type.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's good. When we did Cake Wars, ours was a rectangle. I believe it was 18 by 20.
Okay, so that's basically what you, and it also depends on your design too.
It depends on the design too.
Now, then you have your foam
This is
board.
1/2-inch foam core.
And you bought this from?
Michael's.
And I see you hollowed it out a little bit, but you left the top on, right?
I did, because you want to cover the flange. The design I did here, you wouldn't have to do it because it's a dummy, but if you're doing anything with cake, again, it's super important to keep all of this stuff covered.
Right.
So you can just basically put this on here, trace it out, and use your X-acto knife.
Perfect. And pray to the Lord above that you found the middle.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, one good tip is to lay it right over the flange, and it'll leave a mark in the foam core, so you know exactly where it is.
Good tip. So what's our next step? This bad boy?
Yeah. This,
Our clock piece from the craft store,
our
right?
clock piece from the craft store. I knew I wanted to do a pumpkin, so I knew I needed to get a round piece and that they weren't going to cut it for me.
Erica used to work at Home Depot, and sometimes it depends on the associate. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hi, Margarita.
So you can see here the reason why I didn't center this perfectly is because of the zombie hand. I wanted it to be like offset a little bit.
Okay.
And this stuff is strong enough that not everything needs to be perfectly centered.
Okay.
I also put one on the
If you
top.
wanted to, you could, because the nails weren't going to hit each other, right?
I think I could, as long as you turn them where the
Right,
nails
so that
aren't
they're
going to
not
be. Yeah.
meeting,
So that they're not meeting.
Right, that
Right.
makes sense. So altogether, how many flanges do you need for this type of structure?
For this type of structure, this little pumpkin guy that I made, you need 3 flanges
Okay, 3 flanges.
and 2 pieces of pipe.
Okay. But they weren't the same?
They were not the same because
Okay, so this one you said was 10 inches?
this is 10 inches and then I used a 6-inch.
Brilliant. If you really wanted to, do I really need a pipe here? I'm being difficult because that's what I do. Probably?
I would say yes, because you need something in here. You don't want the cake to, I mean, this is a dummy. I carved this out of styrofoam.
But this would be a lot of cake.
It would be a lot of cake. And I would say I would probably have like a cake board halfway in between because of the height.
Right.
And I just think having like a center pipe in the middle would give me that extra little piece of security.
That's why you were in Cake Wars and I'm not.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, in a perfect world, all of the parties would take place in your kitchen and nothing would have to be delivered.
Yeah.
But
Good
the
point.
the reality is these cakes often have to travel in New York City traffic. Oh, I don't want them to think we're stealing this one.
Yeah.
Because you have to travel and there's potholes and there's traffic and there's crazy
So
drivers.
you're not just security for the party, but you're also doing it for the travel.
Yeah, it's for the party and it's for the travel because you need peace of mind. Otherwise, you'll absolutely go crazy.
And then you have a mini foam core again.
A mini foam core again with the piece hollowed out.
Perfect.
And this is what I did for this particular cake.
How much is a structure like this?
This costs $35.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's really important though when you're making a cake like this that you do include, when you price everything, you make sure that you include that money in your final, whatever you're going to charge the people for.
Well, if it's going to be an extravagant cake like this, I mean, $35 is peanuts in comparison to the cake itself, right,
Absolutely,
guys?
but you know, I mean, you just need to make sure that you also account for your time, the time it took you to put it together, the time it took you to come to Home Depot and buy everything, the second trip to Home Depot that you have to take because you forgot that one,
you know, the right screw size,
right? Because you don't have the right screws. So that's always really important.
And this here just stays hollow like that. Maybe
You
wrap it up.
You would wrap it up and cover it. They sell caps, but I don't think it's necessary. You can kind of just cover it with the tape or something.
Okay.
But there are some other interesting pieces here that they sell.
Do you fix this? Do you glue this to the wood bases?
You could.
You
I
could?
would hot glue it probably.
Hot glue. Okay. Yeah. Show us these other pieces that you brought along. Again, she found these all in the pipe, the second
These are
piping aisle.
all in the second plumbing aisle.
Plumbing.
This is sort of like a T-fitting. If you were going to make a guy with arms or a
Bring it
torso.
to the front so they can see it. You guys see it? It's like a T. Basically, you're going to screw it in from this part, and then you can have pipes coming out.
And they also have ones that look like a cross that have like a fourth.
Okay.
So that, like, you know, you could have this be their head and this be their arms and this will be the bottom of their body. So this is what you would use. And then you could screw the pipes into the side like that.
Now you have another elbow thingy, right?
Yep, they also sell 45 and 90 degree.
What would that be useful for? What is this, 45?
That's 45. I think they're both 45. I don't know if I grabbed a 90.
No, this is 90. It looks like 90 to me. Yeah.
Oh, that is a 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the pipe would come through here and straight.
Yeah, if like you're doing a bent leg or if you're doing an elbow, like if you're doing somebody who's holding something,
Yes.
like a chef or like something that they're holding.
Okay. Okay, so you can apply this simple structure to a lot of stuff, right?
Right. I mean, this is absolutely just like something really simple, straightforward, just the basics.
Okay. What would you say the key is for this? Is basically kind of be creative and think ahead, right?
Be creative and think ahead, and just like, you know, measure twice, cut once. That's the saying. Even though you're not cutting anything, just make sure that all of your measurements are perfect. I made a design where if I used an 8-inch, it would have been fine also, because it doesn't matter how long the zombie's arm is.
Hi, Faraz.
Hi.
Yes, people don't know, this is Amy saying that some people don't understand all the costs that go into these type of cakes. And you know what? We as cakers, it's actually our responsibility to educate them.
Right.
And let them know, hey, this is expensive stuff. We have to sit here and create it. You don't just go to a shop and say, hey, I'm going to make a pumpkin head with a hand. Let me just pull it off the shelf. Right?
No, I mean, that's why, like, I wanted to make sure that I priced out every single thing that I use. That's even the price.
Welcome, Alicia. Welcome, Perez.
That's even the price of the screws. That's everything included. It's really important. I feel like a lot of people don't charge enough for their time and like the things that they use. And this is something that, you know,
and it's shopping time.
It's shopping time.
They forget their shopping time, right?
Right.
Hardware store is not a place you're going to go for your cakes regardless.
No,
right?
And it's, you know,
that's why it's custom cakes.
It is.
A regular bakery doesn't go to the hardware store on a regular basis.
No.
To buy this type of structure, think it out, get it cut, wear a low cut shirt and a good
make sure your
smile.
makeup's done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of people, they use those regular cake drums and they're usually just like a couple dollars each, and they're like, that's what I usually use. And I know probably to some people $35 for this kind of structure does sound like a lot, but you have to make sure that you're just charging appropriately.
Well, this is not a supermarket cake we're talking about.
No, it's not.
$35 honestly it's peanuts in comparison.
It should be well.
And Amy's completely correct when she says this is the engineering part, right? Because if we don't get this right, homeboy is not going to be standing.
No.
So let's talk about Jack, my friends. I fell in love with him the minute she took him out of the box. I was like, Jack, he smells gorgeous. Oh my God. Can we talk about the smell first?
Sure.
What is this smell?
This smell is a combination of chocolate cookies and brown sugar, and that's sort of like the graveyard dirt. I put the cookies in the Vitamix, and
yummy.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yum, yum, give me some. And what's going on here? What do you have as the hand?
So I have, this is modeling chocolate, but first over the piece of pipe, I wrapped it with aluminum foil.
Okay.
And I knew it was going to be a dummy, so it wasn't for food safety. It was to build out the the back of the hand and the body a little bit, so you don't use as much modeling chocolate.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I built it out.
Could you use Rice Krispie treats if you wanted to?
You could use Rice Krispie treats, but
Why use products?
I wasn't gonna make them.
Okay.
So I just like bowled up a little bit of aluminum foil, and then I put modeling chocolate over it.
Okay.
I textured it. I sculpted the fingers,
I see that.
and I brushed it with some different like petal dusts.
Okay.
The blood and like the shiny wet glaze is.
Can we move them forward? I know this is kind of odd.
We probably can.
No.
No,
You're
I
gonna
don't
move
think so.
only side to side.
Yeah. You
You
can
know what?
scoot him forward a little bit.
Don't. Oh yeah, you have room.
Yeah. Here's room.
Come, Jackie.
I used confectioner's glaze to make the creepy wetness. And
Oh,
the
is that
blood
how
spots.
you made the blood?
Yeah, I used confectioner's glaze, red petal dust, and brown.
I wish you guys can see the actual like imprints on it. It's insane.
And I used those sugar shapers to kind of,
Okay.
and I just kind of used my hands.
Is that your favorite tool?
I think they're getting there to be my favorite tool.
Yeah.
I like them. I use them a lot for this cake. I think they really helped me.
Okay.
I
I don't know. I don't know what's my favorite. The pumpkin obviously is my favorite, but this makes it all.
yeah,
Right?
and that's just brown fondant.
But the texture on it is just so precise. Now you covered the board first with.
I covered the board first with brown fondant, just in case there was some spots that were like loose with dirt. So
Right. You wouldn't cover it with blue or white. It would make no sense.
No, and I didn't want
need a
to.
backdrop.
Right, and I didn't want to leave it white.
Right.
And I also like bowled up some pieces of fondant. You could use crispy treat or something, just to give it a little bit of an uneven texture.
Give it levels, different levels.
Right.
And how did you affix the actual pieces of brown sugar and cookies? Did you use
I used piping gel.
piping gel? Okay.
And I packed it in a little bit because the
Okay.
brown sugar, it packs and it'll stay.
Okay,
pretty
and
well.
this was carved. If this was real cake, you would say that you would use definitely some type of foam core in the middle.
Absolutely. I would use a piece of foam core on the bottom and probably one piece of foam core in the middle.
Oh, thank you, Keisha. She likes my plaid shirt. You can have it. Are you guys at a supermarket? No, because you have Bounty and Charmin in the background. We're actually at Home Depot. You see the pumpkins?
We thought it was appropriate and
Yeah.
festive.
And we went through all of Home Depot looking for all the wonderful pieces that we need. Hang on a second. Perfect. And then, did you put a black? Did you cover it all in black first?
I just covered the front in black. Oh, I have blood on my hand. Oh my gosh.
Oh, from this guy.
From the guy. From my
Excuse
guy.
me, Mr. Zombie. You're
Oh
creating
my
a
god,
mess.
you're bleeding on me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just put a piece of black in the front and then I covered the whole thing.
Okay. And then you did the cutouts.
And then I did the cutouts. I used a template
oh yeah?
from just one I found online.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That was super creative.
super easy. And you just print it out and you just scale it to what you need, and it makes it easier like for symmetry. I mean, it's a scary pumpkin. It doesn't need to be perfect, but
I love it. I love the shape. And then you hit it with an airbrush, right?
yeah,
Is that
and
what
then
it is?
Yeah, and then
How do you decide what colors to airbrush? Like, how do you go about that?
I think it depends on like the tonality of it.
Tonality. Write that down. Is that a word?
I
Is
hope
that
it's a word.
Is that a Queen's word?
I
Tonality?
don't know, maybe. I
I
hope
don't
I didn't.
know.
I might have just made that up.
The tonality. I don't like your tonality right now. You need to tone down your tonality.
Oh my gosh. Because I use satin ice, which I know a lot of people absolutely hate. But I used regular satin ice orange, and I felt like it was too happy of an orange,
I hear ya.
given the theme of the piece. So I airbrushed the whole thing
This
overall.
is not a happy orange, right?
That's not a happy orange.
It's a little bit of a depressed orange.
Yeah, that's a sad orange.
Maybe needs a
Actually,
little tequila to make
he
it
needs a
happy.
little help. There's some happier oranges back here. So I gave it a little bit of just a regular airbrush orange over the whole thing. And
Overall,
then, yeah,
a sadder orange.
a little bit of a sadder orange. And then harvest orange. And then I went through with a little bit of brown in the lines.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would be so scared. I'm like, I'm gonna mess up this gorgeous thing, and I'm not even gonna do that.
But I didn't like want it to be like dark brown like this. I just
Right.
went very, very light with the brown.
Mhm.
And then I went in with some of the lines here with just like a regular orange. I don't know if you can see, but
yeah, the light is really super harsh on it. What I'm gonna do is pick up the
turn it.
camera. Oh yeah, now that's better. Do you guys see it better now?
where I went with the airbrush. and put the regular orange and brown in there.
Okay, they love this cake, hon. Awesome, great job, right? I love that arm. Look at that. That thing scares me. That's awesome. The fact that she covered this whole thing in one piece is just flooring me.
It was scary, especially using.
But she's a cake work girl.
Especially using satin ice, you have to be really quick.
You're awesome. You're awesome for that. So you've kind of done other celebrity cakes, right?
I've done a few things. I made a cake for HBO show Vinyl. It was on last year.
Did you guys watch Vinyl? I love that show. I really was upset when they canceled it.
I know.
So tell them which cake that I thought she used it for like production,
It wasn't a production party. It was actually for the shoot for the show.
It was in the show.
It was in the show. And it was for Ray Romano's daughter's bat mitzvah. So they had this whole big thing and they made it like a regular party, and I brought the cakes in. I had to make 2 identical ones just in case they didn't get the shot with the first one. And it was in the shot.
That's awesome. I can't believe, I want to go back and I actually remember.
It's on my website.
Oh, awesome. The whole clip?
The whole clip.
Oh my God, I'm going to watch
part
it.
of the scene with the
I'm
cake.
totally excited. And she told me exactly where it was filmed,
That's
which is not far from where I am.
No.
So I'm just like, that's so
I know,
awesome.
It was crazy. And it was on the night before.
And so how do you get a gig like
on.
that? How do you get a gig like that? Did you go look for them?
I didn't go look for them. The prop master actually gave me a call. I don't know if she saw an ad online or she saw my website.
This is before Cake Wars or after?
After I shot, it was before I shot Cake Wars.
Okay.
But they actually aired.
So they didn't
Vinyl.
Okay.
One night on a Sunday, and then my episode of Cake Wars was on that following Monday. So it was like 2 days in a row.
Did your head blow up?
It was too much. It was like too much for me. I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. I wanted at least.
Hi Brian, isn't it a really cool cake? We're just talking here in Home Depot, and we're talking about simple cake structures. Denise, you were awesome enough that I might even try something. Would you guys try something like this? It doesn't seem as scary now. After you gave us a talk through, and now we know where to find this.
It isn't that scary. It's really simple, and you can get really creative with it. I mean, I said, what can I make? Because I didn't want to just come in here with some plywood and some pipes and just be like, this is what you can do. I actually wanted to make something so you guys can see it, and I love Halloween, and it's coming
I love it.
soon.
I'm not letting her actually go. I'm gonna go home with that. I'm gonna take it home tomorrow.
So I just thought,
I named him too.
His name is Jack.
Yeah, I know. It's very creative with that one.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Jack. That is awesome. Do you guys have any questions for her? I mean, you basically covered everything for us.
I hope so.
What are you looking to do for the future? Are you going to open up a bakery? Are you looking to open up a bakery? Are you hoping that some other people will call you for photo shoots? Like, what's the deal?
I will always say yes if I'm available to do any kind of like TV shoots like that, because I think that's really fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun to go to set and everything. I would absolutely do something like that again. I would ideally like to.
Did you get to meet everybody?
I didn't get to meet everybody because they started setting up the shoot at like 4 a.m. So
what time was delivery?
Like 4:30. So it was one of the earliest deliveries I'd ever had to do.
I can imagine.
Because it was, they were setting up the whole party scene.
Has anyone ever delivered anything earlier than 4:30 a.m.? Let us know. And
where?
And why?
And what kind of party was it?
Really?
I really want to open a cake studio. That would be my goal. Other questions?
A cake studio. No, now the ideas are flowing ever since you've inspired.
I want to see your cakes. Make sure you send them to me.
Send them over,
put them on my Facebook page, or send them to you. Yeah.
And send them over to Caker's Chat.
Absolutely, I
want
to see them.
I want to see them. We all want to see them. That's the whole point about Caker's Chat. We're supposed to inspire one another, right?
I hope so. I hope.
I want to make Jackie a friend. It might be his miniature version.
That would be awesome.
And it might have like 72 pieces of fondant instead of one. But we'll work on that. Okay. 12:30 a.m. That is a very early one. Is that the one for your sister's delivery? She had to deliver at 12:30 a.m. a cake. 1 a.m. midnight.
Okay,
were
so
they
maybe
like New Year's
not
cake?
that strange.
Maybe it wasn't that strange. Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you guys are so cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Denise, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Thank you for chatting, and
Absolutely.
thank you, Home Depot.
I know. I'm so happy they didn't kick us out.
Yes. I was waiting for them to come. Like, hello.
I know.
There's some
what are you
fruits in
doing
garden.
by the pumpkins, you weirdo?
Guys, take care.
Bye.
Tune in next week.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna have something really super awesome lined up, but
I'm
I
excited.
can't give it away until next week. So
Can you tell me if you're turning the camera off?
I'll tell Jack, and if Jack tells you, I'm good with that.
Okay.
If he shares, okay?
All right.
Guys, thanks again for tuning in. If you have any questions for Denise, she's here. She's going to answer them. You can put them on our Cakers chat right below this, the comment box. She'll help answer them, right?
Absolutely.
And you're awesome enough to actually give us a shopping list.
Yes, I'm going to have that out to you
How
guys
brilliant
tomorrow.
is that? That's fantastic. Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Guys, stay sweet and tune in for next time, okay?